I don't know if he told you guys about this part of the business plan, but basically we would hire out 1099 employees, like similar to, it's called a gig economy platform, if you've ever heard of that term before, but it's similar to Uber or Lyft. So where people can make money on their own terms, but instead of like a labor intensive type of work, like driving kind of mindlessly, it would be more powerful and entrepreneurial. So instead of driving, you would be going out to businesses and meet with business owners who share your passion and interest. So let's say that you are interested in art, then you will connect with a business leader that or a business owner that's in the art category. So let's say they have an art exhibit and you're going, like the youth, say 18 to or 25 to 35, 18 to 35, will be connecting with that business owner regularly, promoting their events, uploading their events, and they will be doing the job that I'm doing right now. So during my pilot program, I am filling that position. So I need to learn every facet of the business, and that's one really important one, but I feel as though I can't hire out someone else to do this job until I fully understand what it takes so I can teach them.
That's wonderful. Uh-oh. Am I
Grace,
frozen?
you're frozen.
Oh, it's Grace. Okay.
Okay, now you're back.
You're
Yeah.
back.
Have you heard from Rhonda, Catherine, yet?
Not
Did you
yet.
guys
I
get
just
anything
got a
back? I
text.
didn't hear you.
We didn't hear the last, maybe the last two sentences of what you said.
Said I really feel like I have to learn every facet of the business, and that's one really important one. So that's the exciting thing about the program, the pilot program, is that I'm filling that role.
Okay. Terrific. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is awesome. No, I haven't heard from Rhonda. I did just get a text, but it wasn't Rhonda. And I'm going to have to, yeah, it wasn't Rhonda. Wait, let me see this one. No, not yet. So her last message said she would be here about 12:20, 12:25. It is 12:24. So Tammy, I am going to make you host if it will let me.
Okay.
Let's see. Pin, spotlight, make host. There it is. Do you want to make Tammy the host? I do. Tammy, you are now the host.
All right. And
Okay.
when
So-
Rhonda gets ready to come in, I'll
You
get
should be able to let her in and then let her be the host.
Okay.
And ladies, I'm gonna have to bounce because my student will be back here in about 5 minutes. One of the other things that I wanted to say about this is like how things come so full circle. This student that I have that is eligible to get his concealed carry was one of my DWI students. So he turned his life around, got his driver's license and his CDLs back so he can drive a truck, and now has the ability to get a concealed carry. And that's why I do what I do, because that is just so amazing to be helping people to be full-fledged citizens and not having to relegate themselves to the background and the shadows of addiction. Is just so freaking awesome.
Cool. That sounds great. Tell them we said congratulations.
I will.
Yeah, good work.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Y'all take care, and I will see you at the next meeting. Love you.
Love you.
Love you, Kay.
Okay.
So guys, I feel like Rhonda's going to be here pretty quickly, but yesterday I got the opportunity to be trained by Danelle Delgado again with Shockley, and she had some pretty tremendous things to say. And one of those things was that daily habits were the foundation for wealth, for everything. That if you're not doing something committed on a daily basis, whether it's writing your gratitudes, making contacts, exercising, whatever. The daily habits is where the fortune lies, that you do everything, you commit to do it on a daily basis. But one of the things that she said to me that really struck me, she said, I don't know if you're familiar with her or not, but at one point as a young mother, she also got cancer, and she still rose to be #1 in her company, and she's in network marketing. She was having a meltdown one day with her coach, and just big old blubbery snot, crying, life's too hard, whatever. And her coach said, "Are you ready for a bombshell?" And she said, "Yes." He said, "Who you are on your worst day is who you really are." Now, that doesn't mean that if you have a temper tantrum and you're unkind to somebody, that you're not a nice person. But what it means is, like today, for instance, this quote actually hit me right between the eyes today. This morning, I was worn out. I've been running myself ragged. And for half a second, I actually considered just giving myself the day off. And but I had a 9:30 webinar with my uplines, and I was going over this. And the stuff that I learned yesterday was reinforcing the stuff I needed to do today. So I got myself in gear. But what she was saying was, when you're tired and you're worn out, that's when you really get to see the measurement of your commitment. That's when you really get to see how powerful your goals are. So that kind of kicked me in the butt this morning. And she said, your patterns are the sum of your habits, and that whether you recognize your patterns or not, other people recognize the patterns in your life. And if you're giving explanations and excuses, then you're not getting any results. Watch those patterns. She also said it takes fewer people than you think to reach a massive goal. One of her goals was to reach 1,000 people, who would then in turn reach 1,000 people. And she accomplished that in 3 years. So she reached over 1 million people. And she also was making millions with just 13 distributors. I think sometimes people think you have to have thousands of business partners or thousands of distributors. She was saying that, to understand that it only takes a few powerful people to make millions of dollars. So let me see what else I got here for you. She also said, regardless of what you do, be a product of your product. I think that's easier for me to do than what you guys are doing. But at the same time, I know, Carol, you're getting ready to buy a house in Raleigh, right? Or have you already bought it?
Under contract to buy it.
Okay. So similar. And so regardless, being a product of your product, I say it's like being a billboard for your product. So in my case, it's like if I'm not keeping up with the nutrition and my arthritis kicks back up, or I'm not using the skincare, and I look 10 years older than I should, that kind of thing, then it's not going to work. But whenever you present yourself to the public, how you present yourself, professionalism, making sure you're on time for your appointments, all these very basic things. But it's amazing how the very basic things can get overlooked. And she said, on your worst day, not only does that show who you are, she says your routines and your habits and your appointments, nothing should slip on a bad day, unless like somebody you love dies or something and it's really drastic. But there she was with cancer, and she kept all her appointments and nobody even knew. In fact, the first company that she participated with, I talked about her story a little bit before, but she was a youth pastor. Something happened with her husband that she did not.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and
I remember that.
She was in a tent with these 3 kids. Well, she built that first business and took it. She was #1 in that company when they told her she'd never make it. She built another business, and something happened with that one. She was #1 in that company. Then she built a third business, and 90 days into it, she got a cancer diagnosis. And they told her, she says, well, I'm going to have to do this over phone I'm gonna have to do all of my networking and prospecting over the phone because I don't look I don't want people to necessarily see how I'm looking right now because I'm tired and I'm worn out. And here comes Rhonda. And also I'm tired, so she couldn't make a lot of the appointments in person like she used to. So she said, I'm gonna have to build this by phone. And they said, it's not duplicatable, it'll never work. She said, watch me. And she built that, and she was #1 in that company as well. So she's really,
She's really a go-getter. Yeah.
amazing. So
Mm.
hey, Rhonda, you're muted, Rhonda.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So I'll turn this over to you.
Wow, I was expecting more people.
Okay, was here, and she had to go.
Okay, well, it's great to see Grace and Carol and Tammy. So catch me up. What's the conversation been going about today?
We did speeches and gratefulness, and I was filling in the time with some stuff that Danelle Degato had said. And one of the things that she said that really struck me yesterday was, on your worst day, that's the real you. And that your everyday commitments and routines should not be sidelined because of a unexpected event or a minor catastrophe.
Wait, say that last part again.
She said your daily events and commitments still need to get done and done well, regardless of the everyday little catastrophes that seem to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, I grew up with a poster in my room. If I can't find time to do the job right, I'll have to find time to do the job over. And I think my mother, I don't know if she knew it or not, but subconsciously that was always in the back of my head. So I use that philosophy all the time. I'd rather just do the job and get it done the right way, no matter what's going on, because I don't want to have to find the time to do it over again.
Right.
Excellent. So did everybody do their introductions?
Mhm.
Excellent. Grace, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So how is your project coming along with your website and your events management?
Yeah. So
Oh, I think I'm frozen again, Grace.
Grace froze again.
She said she got 2 companies for her pilot program.
Fantastic. And with the pilot program, what does that mean for her? Oh, there she is. You're back, Grace.
sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. So I heard you got 2 companies for your pilot program.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He was saying it was kind of like Uber, except there she goes. Grace, you're back.
Maybe not.
Well, she was saying it was kind of like Uber, except for being so labor intensive. You were sort of like, my understanding was like an ad executive, and you would go and sign up other people who would be interested in other similar businesses. But right now she's learning how to do that job so that she can teach other people how to do it too.
I love it. I love it. So I thought today, since we won't be meeting on Thanksgiving, I felt like the word gratitude just really came to my mind. And I know last night was my last night with my mother-in-law. I got her off and moving this morning at 2:45 a.m.
Ooh.
So we know, I know, we no longer have grandma here. So I haven't really had a lot of sleep. But last night, it was just one of these moments. I was sitting on the couch and reflecting on Thanksgiving, this time of year, things that have happened and some of my challenges. Some of you may or may not have seen the post that I put up on Facebook.
Yeah, I did.
It was one of those where I've never shared that much stuff before, and I've never put up pictures before. So it was kind of this pull I had last night, because for me, when I think about Thanksgiving, I oftentimes, not often, every year, I actually go back to that time where I had to drink my Thanksgiving dinner through a straw because my mouth was wired, my nose was packed, and I just had no way to have dinner. And I thought, you know, how lucky I am to actually be alive. And every time something happens, whether it be for myself or my family or loved ones, it really makes me reflect on that and how fortunate we are. And life is so, so short. So when you know, when I don't know about you, but when you put yourself in that place of gratitude, being thankful for so much more, it really relieves you of everyday stressors and strains. And it allows you to take the focus off of what's wrong and what's not going right to what is going right and so good in your life. And every time you shift that energy, you're also opening up so much more into the world, into the universe, of going, you know what? I love where I'm at. And I want to thank you so much. And it just pulls more into your soul. So I'd love to know if anybody else has had any experiences where gratitude really helps you shift around and how the impact it makes on your business. Great.
I'll try and see if it's working. Okay, it seemed like every time I was talking last time, that's when it messed up. But yeah, just making sure it still works. Okay, so yeah, I kind of shared with them last week. I had that the day before I got the first person in my pilot. I was having like an off day, and I was feeling like, you know, how am I going to be able to do this and pull this off and stuff? And then I just kind of let it go. And I was like, I'm just, you know, what's meant for me is going to come for me. Who I'm supposed to work with are the people that are going to work with me. And instead of, you know, focusing, because I saw that people were like opening my emails, but they weren't responding to them that day. And I don't know why, but it was really getting to me. And then I just reminded myself, like, it has nothing to do with you. And it has, like, they are busy. Like, it has nothing to do with you. Why are you making this about yourself? Like, and just be grateful for where you're at. You've come so far. And as soon as I had that mind shift change, the very next day, I got someone in my pilot program, got another person in my pilot program that week as well, which I wasn't expecting. And just like things just started turning around as soon as I had kind of that mind shift change and kind of just let it go.
I love that you said that, let it go, because that is so true, because it is not about you. It's not about me. It's really, as a business owner, about who is it that we want to serve? Whose lives are we trying to change? Because as soon as you start making it all about you, the doors start closing again. So I love that story. Thanks, Grace.
Thank you.
Tammy or Carol, do you have any experiences that you can share?
A few weeks ago, I was sort of struggling, mostly I think with my confidence. And, you know, we talk a lot, me and you, Rhonda, about shifting into the next year. And I was starting to just question everything. And I got on my upline call, and one of the gentlemen who is in that call is has a prophetic gift. And he said he had been praying about his business builders, and he felt like the Lord told him that I had an anointing for building business builders. And it was like I had just prayed 30 minutes previously, Lord, is this what I'm still supposed to be doing? And 30 minutes later, he said that. So it felt like confirmation. And I just remember just falling, because it was most of the ladies in my upline are older, and they're very supportive. They can't do a whole lot as far as lead me, but they've always been very supportive. And that was just an answer to prayer. And I was so grateful, because you know, it's not every day you get a 30-minute 30 minutes later, you get a confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Those are so precious. And again, that gratitude, you know, thank you for, you know, putting that person in my place, putting that person in my space, opening that door. I know when I printed out my flyers last week, I was in the Office Depot there and picking up all my stuff. And as I was getting ready to pay, this gentleman next to me glanced over and he's like, "Oh, youth program." I said, "Yes." And he goes, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to be looking over your shoulder, but I'm a youth minister and I'm looking for some opportunities or partnerships for my youth. So we need to, I would really love it if we could talk. And I thought, wow, again, Tammy, that affirmation, the confirmation of, am I in the right place at the right time? And, I know for me, this has just been a passion project for several years, putting everything in place. So for having people reach out to me is that, again, that affirmation. So it's very exciting, and someplace that we have to all allow ourselves to let go of the negative, and that energy just keeps you stuck when you start blaming or complaining or second guessing yourself. It's all about believing in who you are and what you're meant to be doing and who you're here to serve. So Carol, how are you doing? For some
I'm
reason,
doing good.
your face is up in my main screen right now for some reason.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So how are things going with you and your business?
I'm doing a transition. As you all know, I'm gonna move into Raleigh, and I just told my office staff and my manager, the manager of the office, apparently was so sad that one of the owners of the company actually told me that she almost looked as though she was depressed that I was leaving, because she said, "Oh, Carol is such a nice person to work with." So, and my first year in real estate, it was horrible. I made no money, and I was constantly stressed. One of the owners would talk to me and say, if you don't have a closing by the end of the year, then you're out. And I was trying very hard. I was like spinning my wheels. Nothing was going right. But then the second year improved, and then the third year is so much better. And the manager just told the owner, that I've been so successful this year that it's going to be sad to leave it all and move to a new market center. But I feel like I'm ready for that move mentally. I'm ready because it's where I'm supposed to be. So if I've learned anything, is that, I think all our skills are very transferable. Whatever we learn and pick up, and how we motivate ourselves, it can go with us wherever we go, and we can start anew. So I'm just going all positive into 2022. Thankful for everything that I learned in the past few years.
Yes.
That was a good word.
Yes, I love it. So I'm kind of curious, for everybody here, will you be doing Thanksgiving at home? Will you be hosting? Will you be traveling? What are you doing?
I'm having Thanksgiving with my mom at lunch, and then I'm having a second Friendsgiving that evening with people who don't necessarily have either not necessarily orphans, but either they don't have family or they're not close by. That's usually more fun than the first one.
Oh, does your mama know that?
That's a great thing you're doing, Tammy.
Right.
That is. And where is your second friends?
Right here. And you're more than welcome to come if you guys aren't going anywhere.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, Tammy.
You are sweet. She cooks really good too.
Yeah.
How about you, Grace? What are your Thanksgiving plans?
Yeah, so my sister turns 16 next month on December 4th, and she has been wanting to go to DC to see the Smithsonian. Oh my goodness.
No, you're here.
Still?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I thought I froze again. Yeah, so she's been wanting to go to the Smithsonian. Also in Miami, I went to this place called the Art Tech House, and it was fascinating. They basically took data points for so many years in the universe, and it was just insane, but it was like a completely immersive experience, and they made the data points into art. So it was like science and art, but you could literally see how everything in the world was connected, like visually. So it was really cool, and I told my sister about it, and she's really into that sort of thing. So in DC, they have the Art Tech House, and they have exhibits, and they're doing one of neuroscience. So the way that they're going to be showing like basically how your brain connects and yeah, how it talks to each other. So she as soon as I told her we were going to Washington, she knew that's what we were gonna do, because it's kind of like I told her, they have one in DC. So it's gonna be like an early present for her, and it's just gonna be me, my boyfriend, and her. So it will be like the first trip she's taken without like my mom. So she's really excited.
Oh, good.
I did the Art Tech House too, and back then in April it was about the Japanese cherry blossoms, and it was fantastic. You had all these different experiences. They had things that could move, and you move the body or your hands or whatever. And then they had the drumming experience as well. So worth it. It's expensive, but it's really worth it because there's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, Grace, I did try to send you messages, but for some reason it says you're not on this chat for some reason. I don't know why. So if you can call me, yeah, if you can call me and tell me more about what you're looking for, I can help you. And I'm actually moving out of my own apartment, so this will be available January 1st. Can you hear me, Grace? I think Grace might be frozen again.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You can? Okay, because sometimes you're frozen and sometimes you're not. So, and I was trying to send you messages back about, what you were looking for, but it doesn't seem to be going to you. It says you're not in this meeting.
Oh, that's odd.
It's very odd. Yeah.
Participants.
I'm going to change my Wi-Fi connection. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Carol, how about you? What are your Thanksgiving plans?
I was actually planning to go up to Raleigh and cook for my boys. But as things have changed now, like I have a good friend who's also a client, and they have invited us over to their house. So that means I just bring a side dish. I don't have to cook, and they're wonderful hosts. They're Puerto Rican and they know how to have a good time. So we will be there for a long time celebrating. They have like karaoke, and they have PlayStations on different floors. So the boys are always, playing something, they're always engaged with people. And then the adults just talk. So it's going to be good.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I'm curious, does anybody have any Thanksgiving traditions that they absolutely love? I'm always curious about other traditions that families do.
This is a Christmas thing, but it starts on Thanksgiving. My daughter and I have always done like strung popcorn and cranberries for the tree. And it smells great. It looks great. It's a little time consuming, but it's a tradition. And sometimes other cousins will come over and do it with us, or other friends, but it's always at least just me and my daughter. And we always try to put up the tree like Thanksgiving weekend, either before or after all the eating. But I thought she would grow out of wanting to do the popcorn and the cranberries, but she brought it up herself a few days ago. So that's good.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Fun.
Love traditions.
Oh, great. Because, I'm afraid of having a live tree because I've had a house fire before. So I don't take any chances with anything like that. So I don't have the smell of a real tree, but I have the smell of the popcorn and all. It's nice.
Oh, we should have talked the wreaths that I just picked up. The 4-H did fundraisers, and I just picked them up, and we're walking out the parking lot with them. And Natalie and I are both going, oh, they smell so good.
Yeah,
I had to wash up. I got sap all over me. So, Carol, how about you? Do you have any long-standing traditions that you do for Thanksgiving?
I think there are more Christmas traditions, but then I guess the Thanksgiving thing that we normally do is, my boys don't like to do it, but I try to go around the table and say what we're thankful for. They don't like to participate in that, but I think it's a good thing. And then right after, I put them to work. I say, go get all my Christmas decorations up now. And I want my tree up and everything. So Yeah. And now that I'm kind of moving and my stuff is in boxes, they're like, "Phew, we don't have to decorate this year."
I love it. A tradition of let's eat and then let's get on Christmas decorating.
Let's go to work after eating. Work off that turkey.
Thanksgiving is so much less stressful because you don't have to figure out 50 gifts. You just enjoy each other's company that day. And
Yeah.
I really enjoy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So does everybody do turkey, ham, or both?
Usually just turkey.
Carol?
It all depends on how many people we have. So I've actually done turkey, and then if there's actually a lot more people, then actually last year I think I did fish because one of my guests is a pescatarian. They can only eat fish and vegetables. And then his mother was vegetarian, so I had to cook more vegetable dishes too. All depends on who comes.
Okay. So it sounds like your Thanksgiving varies from year to year with who you have.
Yeah, basically who I invite, and I find out what their dietary needs are. Kind of have to, change up.
Very nice. How about you, Grace?
Yep, no traditions. No, I last year did like a very untraditional Thanksgiving. Kind of been vegan for a couple years now, so been doing that. And we had like a fake turkey last year, and it was really good. So yeah, I might even go less traditional this year and make lasagna or something. I don't know. Because we're also traveling, so I'm gonna bring stuff like I'm gonna cook it beforehand. So anything that I can cook really beforehand and bring it.
Yeah, that
sounds
sounds
good.
good.
That sounds
I did want to tell you ladies, my favorite Thanksgiving of all, I used to have a much larger farmhouse, and I had a huge kitchen and a huge dining room. And it was my first Thanksgiving in that house. So I invited all my great aunts and uncles, all my regular aunts and uncles, all their kids. So I had like 75 people at my house at the very first Thanksgiving, and it was a blast. And the weather cooperated, so the men got to go outside and tell their lies and everything, and the old ladies were gathered around my wood stove in the kitchen. But it was, to me, it felt like that Rockwell picture where the old lady, to me it felt like a Rockwell Thanksgiving, and that was probably my favorite Thanksgiving I've ever had.
that sounds amazing. That's a lot of people too.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And now a lot of those people aren't with us anymore. So it was great. It really was.
Well,
I hope we took pictures so that you can remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pictures and to remember them. That's wonderful. I
Mhm.
know for years for Thanksgiving we would meet at my mother-in-law's house because it was the most common area. When the kids moved out, they took 2 bedrooms, stripped them out, and made it into a gigantic dining room. So you can imagine a big Italian family, and it seemed like just family. It was always 30 people,
Wow.
and we had turkey and ham, and we incorporated Italian with Southern, and we had such a huge spread. But now, my sister-in-law, she kind of does her thing a lot now. And now we're going to meet at my son's house, and I will be bringing the traditional Southern casseroles. I prepare them mostly at home now, and I freeze them and I carry them up there. And then we work in their kitchen, and we still have usually 20 plus people, just immediate family, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I agree with Tammy. It's not quite as stressful. I know for me, stress is always part of the whole traveling issue. We always travel for the holidays and pack all the food and pack the presents, and got to make sure everything at home is taken care of because your fur babies are just like your babies. So that's always an interesting challenge that we have, but very grateful for the time that we get to spend. And I'm grateful that all of you ladies showed up today. It's been wonderful. I've missed seeing your faces. So thank you for coming.
You too.
Thanks. I'm sorry I was late. Does anyone have anything special coming up that you want us to know about that we can make sure that gets out in the newsletter? Sounds like no. Carol, anything for you? Because I know you're in the middle of stuff moving.
I wonder whether we can get together for a special, I don't know, like a Christmas or once a year kind of party, like
There
just
is,
cause.
I don't know if you mean just our group or 1099 in general, but there is a 1099 get annual holiday thing, but it's in January. I saw that a day or so ago.
Oh, yeah, we need to get
Was that in
information.
was that Raleigh? I think is that the one that Linda hosts or something?
I think so. Hmm.
Yeah, but maybe we can have one that's just for Eastern North Carolina
Who
and
wants,
invite whoever else wants to come along from, the other chapters. But essentially, just meeting up and instead of like talking business, just to meet up and know each other socially.
just a festive social event?
Yeah, kind of like low key, but still festive.
Yeah, that sounds like a lovely idea. Well, if anybody wants to take that under their assignment, if you will, their challenge, I'm always open to doing that. This year is not going to be my year to do it, but I would certainly show up if I'm in town. So you let me know who wants to do that, where you would like to meet. But anyway, so we are right at 1 o'clock. And let's see here, next week, are we meeting? No meeting next week because it's Thanksgiving and we will resume in person, right? Tammy, am I on task here for December? I don't have my calendar, 3rd, 4th, something like that.
Second.
Yeah, second.
Okay, December something or another, the 2nd in Williamston. Now, Carol, I don't know, are you in Raleigh area now?
Not yet. I'm kind of traveling between Greenville and Jacksonville.
Okay, well, if you're able, we would love to have you. Grace, was it nice in that meeting area last couple weeks ago when you came?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there next week. I did have a quick question. Do you guys have a Facebook page?
We have a Facebook group, yes, 1099 ladies.
I'm only in the chat. I only see the chat. If there's a page, I don't see it.
Can anybody else grab that? I'm gonna see if I can grab it right quick for Grace.
I'm looking for it too.
Hmm.
1099 Ladies Networking. Glenda Tello.
Yep,
Is that the main group? It's not our small group, is it?
no, that is the whole 1099. We don't have one. All I have for Greenville is just the Facebook chat. Is that what you were wondering, Grace? If we have like a Facebook
No,
page?
I'd like to be in the 1099 group just in general, just see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm logging in right now.
Called
You can
1099
log into that one. That's the main group, and I think it has people from everywhere.
Yeah,
I
it does.
I'm
I
in it.
I just put the link in the chat.
Oh, good.
And you can also go to Meetup and get all those other groups and sign up to attend any other groups you want to.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm in it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Well, ladies, have a fun, happy, festive, and safe Thanksgiving. And I look forward to seeing you and some of the other ladies face to face in Williamston on December 2nd at noon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.